The Virginia Chorale is going to sing in the seasons in their first concert of the season. And as you think about it, you think, well, I can pretty well guess what's on the program. Well, I thought that too until I saw the lineup. Scott Williamson, the artistic director of the Virginia Chorale, is with us, and he's going to talk about this concert, this series of concerts actually, coming up this weekend, that will review the seasons in a rather unusual way. Scott, you've really brought in some interesting contrasts and textures and texts. It's a marvelous program that you've put together here.
Well, thank you, Dwight. I'm very excited about this opening concert, as are our singers. We feel like we've got a great, like you said, varied and interesting program with which to open the season. And we're framing it with standards, beloved standards that everyone will know and recognize. Autumn Leaves, and
yes.
At the other end of the program, Summertime. And we've divided the program up into the four seasons, moving from fall to winter. Then we'll take a little break and then sing songs about spring and end with summer. And the theme gives us a lot of, almost too much material.
Right,
so
yeah.
It was a great challenge to kind of brainstorm and wind it down to the pieces that we did select.
I know it's hard to pare down when you do concerts like this.
It sure is.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
But it was a great challenge. I think the audience will experience that each of the seasons has a real flow and a real progression, even though each of the sets features music by completely different composers.
Yeah, well, that's what I noticed. Not only different in style, but also they differ in terms of eras by in some cases, centuries.
That's right. We'll feature in each season settings of Shakespeare's songs and sonnets, and in two cases, in particular in winter and spring, we'll juxtapose Renaissance madrigals of Thomas Morley, who was Shakespeare's contemporary, with contemporary songs by the New York composer Matthew Harris, who's an acquaintance and friend, and a great composer. He's written a series of 4 books of Shakespeare songs, and they are modeled on various styles. Some of them you hear the influence of jazz. Some of them you hear the influence of the Renaissance madrigals. And in a couple that we're doing, you actually hear the influence of almost top 40 pop music.
Yeah. It's amazing how those Shakespeare songs or lyrics, he wrote the lyrics, can be adapted by almost any generation.
Yeah, they appear to be universal and really prove the point that great art can be timeless. Indeed. And can inspire any number of different settings.
I love the fact that you joined some impressionistic music, not only typically French by Debussy, but those lovely Delius. And I guess Ludwig and Gerald Finzi sort of fit in that category, too.
Yeah, they do. I mean, we tend to it's easy to forget that the English musical renaissance at the end of the 19th century and the early 20th century was as indebted to Debussy and French music and art as it was to the German music, the German romantics of the 19th century. Most of the composers studied in Germany, Elgar and Perry and Holst, but they were very much influenced by Debussy. And you hear this also in the Nordic music of Ludwig and his contemporaries, just that desire to I think as Debussy said it, not so much express the feeling as embody it, as to create or recreate the feeling.
Sing in the seasons. That's what the Virginia Chorale will do, and its opening concerts coming up October 2nd at First Presbyterian Church in Virginia Beach, October 3rd, Trinity Episcopal in Portsmouth, and October 4th at the Williamsburg Presbyterian Church. Scott Williamson directing the chorale in music of the seasons that you might not be familiar with. Some of you will be. Some of it will be a real revelation. Music old, new, and new settings of old favorites, and just a wonderful mix of things. Everyone's invited to attend. Scott Williamson, the director, our guest today. And Scott, we thank you not only for coming in, but for this wonderful program.
Well, Dwight, thank you. Thank you for all that you do to support us.
Our pleasure.
Thanks.